Hello, English 10 honors class. This is my attempt to see if I can catch up those individuals who were away for the Spanish field trip on what they missed for preparation for the To Kill a Mockingbird final paper and test. So I started off the class by going to Google Classroom. So if you haven't already done that now, you should. Actually, I think I'm uploading this to Google Classroom, so probably already have done that. All right, so you're on Google Classroom. You've seen the assignment that says To Kill a Mockingbird writing assessment. From there, you are looking at, there are several documents that are uploaded. There's the Google Docs that you'll type up your paper in. Then there's the To Kill a Mockingbird writing assessment, which is a copy of what I had handed out on Wednesday for class. There's a little bit more added on the end of it. I'll go over that in a minute. You also have a literary analysis rubric, so you know how your paper is being graded. I've included an easy graphic organizer. This is for my individuals who just would like an outline in order to help them. If you print it off, fill in the boxes in order to help you fill out how you're going to organize your paper and then write your paper. And what's good about that is that you can fill in the boxes in any order. You don't have to necessarily do it in the order of writing, because if you're like me, you think of things in different processes. So maybe you'll think of what you kind of want to say. You'll find your quotes. You can put your quotes in where you want them and then go through it and you'll figure it out. Hopefully that will. So that's one other thing. Then I also gave you guys an essay organizer handout. The essay organizer handout, go look at that. That's a PDF. And it just kind of gives you a visual on how you're looking at how you're putting your outline together. So you start off with your introductory paragraph. It's going to have your hook, your tag, and your thesis. Remember, the tag is the title, author, genre. You're putting that in, and your thesis must be arguable. If I cannot debate it, or if you can't have somebody say, I have a different opinion, or I don't necessarily agree with it, then your thesis is not arguable. An example is if you were to say, in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, mystery and suspense is a major theme. Yes, that's true. Yes, that is analysis, but that doesn't have commentary. So your thesis needs to have commentary. It needs to be debatable. What would be something? So I'm going to come back to that. First body paragraph. That's what I need to get to. So then that is going to be similar to what you have been doing for your assertions, only you're going to have a topic sentence. Then you're going to have evidence, commentary, more evidence, more commentary. That's your outline for your body paragraphs. If you have more than one body paragraph, then you're going to repeat that process. Your conclusion is your restated thesis, an argument extension, and a profound thought. Again, go to the PDF document. That's the essay organizer handout, and all of this is included there as I'm talking through this. What else do you need to have? The other thing you have is, also I gave you an assertive paper scaffolding PowerPoint. Okay, take this with a little bit of flexibility, because several individuals asked me if I could please give them some sort of structure similar to what I did for the assertive paragraph and kind of walking you through that. So this is my best attempt to, but you have to remember you're doing an essay, a full paper, and I can't put the whole essay into a PowerPoint. The whole body paragraphs and everything, that's just not something I can do for you. That would be writing your paper for you. And as much as I want to help you, this is a process that each of you have to go through. So I walk you through the assertive paper scaffolding, going through the introduction and reminding you what an assertive paragraph is and helping you through that. So go through that, and at the end of that assertive paper scaffolding, there is a paragraph, and it is like the paragraphs you guys just finished. But remember, that's a paragraph. You're now going to a full paper. So you're taking what that paragraph is into a full paper. So I can't keep saying that enough. That is just a paragraph. You're going to a full paper. So have questions, you can send me an email, and you can see me on Monday. All right, let's go back. Am I going to go back to, I'm not ready to go back to the thesis. I'm going to get there. I also want to make sure I don't forget, what I don't forget. I want to make sure I tell you that on the end of that To Kill a Mockingbird writing assessment that I gave you guys on Wednesday, I've added a little blurb on the end of the electronic document, and it simply has added for clarification, must use a secondary character in your analysis and your commentary. You must include significant evidence from the second half of the book, which is the start of the trial going forward. And you cannot use or recycle any of your copy that you had from your previous assertive paragraphs. The exception, you can use a quote. Shouldn't use both because both quotes are from the first half of the book. But if you have a quote and you want to use the quote again, that I will allow. But you're not going to be reusing how you couch the quote and all your analysis after that. This is going to be something more. So let's go back to the fact that you have to use a secondary character. If you go back to my sheet and look at Education of Scout and Gem, Bravery versus Cowardice, Prejudice, Racial Injustice, and Boundaries, you'll notice that I had bullets. That's there to guide you. You don't have to follow it exactly. When I'm looking at all of those, there's 3 things that if you were to follow, you would use. In other words, almost in every one of them, it touches gender, social codes, and moral, or should be morality. Under prejudice, there's also skin color. Basically, those are 3 paragraphs. If, in other words, if you were tackling let's just take Education of Gem and Scout. The bullets there say gender, social codes, moral, then perspective, and symbol. So if you tackle in your first paragraph something about gender, the second body paragraph social codes, and the third morality, and everything else with that, then you're going to tie in more than you realize automatically. Then you throw into that mix, you throw in the fact that you're going to use 2 characters, and one of them is going to be a secondary character. And that's going to make you guys think differently with regards to beyond just Scout, Gem, Boo, and Atticus. What else? A symbol. If you get a symbol in, great. If you don't have to. Several people have already started coming to me and saying, Mrs. Taylor, I can't get in this symbol. I understand if you can't get it in. My goal is just trying to make you get as much as you can. And the more you get into it, the more meat your paper is going to have. And the more you're going to probably give me what I want without you realizing that you gave it to me. So the other thing, with regards to how do you do a thesis? Okay. This is where you guys need to make a connection with the book. And several of you have asked me, why haven't I specifically told you what to write about? The reason why I haven't told you that is because it's hard to write about something if you can't connect to it. So I want you to connect to this book. I don't know what it is or how it is, but let me give you some examples. For me, if I'm connecting to Kill a Mockingbird, there's 2 big ways that I connect personally. One of them is with Miss Caroline. Miss Caroline is the teacher, and guess what? I'm a teacher. So I have a lot of thoughts with regards to Miss Caroline in the 1930s, being a young teacher and telling Scout that she needs to have her father stop teaching her to read at home. I could go into that. So I am passionate. I have an opinion about that, and I could state that. But wait. I said I. You're not going to use I, you, or we in your paper. So I'm going to come back to how you change from you having an opinion to your paper not having those pronouns. Let's go back to, okay, so my example was the teacher, Miss Caroline. The other one that I actually like more that I connect with is Atticus. Atticus is a parent. I'm a parent. I have kids. But I can think about and relate to Atticus as being a single dad. Well, I don't. My kids have 2 parents. But I can only imagine with Atticus being a single parent and the lack of having the wife there and what Calpurnia represents. And it's amazing how much he's gotten through to be able to express to the kids that he wants them to be certain people when they grow up. But he doesn't sit there and lecture at them. He doesn't say, you need to do this, and you're not doing that, and you need to hang out with the right people. he demonstrates how he wants them to be as individuals and people by how he himself acts. And he treats them with respect, and by treating them with respect, he's also trying to say you need to treat everybody else with respect. So there's a lot that I can connect with Atticus with regards to the paper. So if I were writing my own, I would have a tendency to focus on Atticus. You guys, I'm expecting you to give me something different. Maybe you connect with the kids and the fact that there's a whole bunch of social issues going on with regards to race. I can't ignore the fact that I can definitely make connections with things that are going on in today's world with regards to how they have or have not changed in the 1930s. That would be a really interesting topic. Talking about, talking about boundaries, crossing boundaries. Yeah, there's just so much you guys can do. And I know you may be frustrated, and I know this may seem hard, but just start talking it through and writing it down. Now, the thing that I said about not putting I, you, or we in there. So I want you to think of what you have as an opinion, but then you have to take yourself out of it. So in my case, if I were talking about Atticus, I might be something like, in the story of To Kill a Mockingbird, set in a small southern town, Atticus Finch, what is Atticus Finch teaches his children in spite of having his wife there to assist him, teaches them how to be strong people and effective people in society. Now, that really stinks. That's not a really good thing. That's just me talking. So now I have to write that down. But at least if I write that down and I get that thought out, then it's going to move me towards where I want. And now I know what I want, and I got to go start looking for quotes. And I start finding my evidence. And then I'm going to go back to my thesis, and then I'm going to rewrite it to be much smoother than what I just tried to verbally do off the top of my head. And you're going to keep going back and forth. So one of the things you guys have got to realize is that writing is a process. And I know a lot of you feel frustrated with the fact that I'm throwing this paper at you and you're like, this is not fair. However, you have been going through this process. I started you guys off with writing a single sentence, with trying to do a summary sentence and an analysis sentence. And then I tried to have you combine those two. And then I had you do a couched quote. And then from the couched quote, you had to do an assertive paragraph. And then from the assertive paragraph, you had to do another assertive paragraph. So I've been trying to get you guys in steps to get to the writing process. Now, after doing one paragraph, I'm sorry to tell you that there's only one way to go, and that's to make the big leap to a full paper. You're taking what you did in just one paragraph and stretching it out to a full paper. And I know you guys can do this. You just have to dig in and start it. So the other thing I want to tell you is if you need help with your thesis, you can email me, or you can also go into class. Also, you can go on Google Classroom under your assignment, and there is a section that says class comments. You can go underneath there and you can write your questions so that way the whole class can see it. And I encourage you to do that if you think you have a question that other people might have, because then I will respond there and then everybody can have that feedback and additional input. I also have one class who has a student who's one of my classroom TAs, took the initiative and said hello to the class and said, hi guys, I'm here if you need me. So my TAs can also jump in and help if they have feedback and give guidance. And if anybody goes off task, I'm going to be checking regularly to bring you back on task. Let's see, what else do I need to give you? Thesis, yes. Okay, if you're getting close and you want to know if you're close to it, if between now and the day your paper is due, not Monday night at 8 p.m., do you get to say, Mrs. Taylor, is my thesis okay? Before 8 p.m., let's go for that. Before 8 p.m. on Monday, if your paper is due on Tuesday and you want some input, I will be happy to try and give you input. You could also stay after class. I'm also available during lunch. I have B lunch, so you can find me then too. And I'm also early to school. So all those choices. All right, so that's all the paper. What else am I forgetting? Oh, now the test. Yes. So I was also asked, is there a study guide for the test? Go back to Google Classroom. On Google Classroom, there is a study guide for To Kill a Mockingbird Scantron summative assessment. It's a simple, very short Word document. Yes, it's that simple. All you have to do is answer the questions. If you can answer all the questions, then you're good for the test. Oh, and at the top of the paper, it says read the book. So yes, if you haven't read the book, then you're might be caught by a couple of my questions on the test because you really need to have read the book. You can glean a lot from class, but reading the book is definitely a good thing to do. All right, so the questions are from everything from who is Scout and who is important into her life to advice that Scout gives, or Atticus gives Scout. What else do I need to tell you? Read that document. You can also review your character charts, your literary chart, your teacher notes from Miss Watkins and from myself. Remember, you got those. And just reread any section of the story that you're unfamiliar with. For instance, someone asked me the other day, who is Dolphus Raymond? Can't remember who that is? Well, go find him in the book and remind yourself of who Dolphus Raymond is. I'll give you the hint. You meet him after Dill and Scout have to leave the court because Dill doesn't feel good. Or he's crying. I can't remember which. Again, refresh your mind on what the details are. Last thing. Oh, yeah. Last thing. Book will not be used on the Scantron test. You can use your book as you're writing your paper, but you will not be using the book during the Scantron. Talked with 10th grade team, English team, said Honors 10 is getting ready for AP Lit for 11th grade. Not allowed to use books. So, no books. So, know your story, read, be prepared. You can, again, see me between now and Monday, or now and Tuesday if you have questions and you're saying, okay, now I'm refreshing myself and now I'm panicking and now I don't understand something. Come see me. I'll be happy to talk about it. Talk also with other people because other people, I mean, you got smart classmates, guys, okay? And many times I don't have to give you the answers. You just have to talk to each other. So do that. Let's see. Anything else? I think I've gone over. Oh, yeah. One last thing. If you look at the assignment, you're going to see that it says on the steps for preparing for your writing essay, it has in there that you have to turn in your paper 3 ways. All right, 3 ways. You're going to turn it into Google Classroom, which you've already known how to do because you did your assertive paragraph. Almost all of you did. Yes. Few of you. Well, okay. Turning it in your Google paper through Google Classroom. Then you're also going to print out a copy and bring a printed copy to class. And then the third thing you're going to do is you're going to submit your paper via Blackboard. And I think it's called Secure Sign, or I'm not quite sure. Anyhow, the point is that I have instructions on Google Classroom and on Blackboard. So you'll go from Google Classroom to Blackboard, and under Blackboard assignments, there is an assignment that says To Kill a Mockingbird Literary Analysis Paper. You're going to click on that and you're going to attach your paper. Why are you doing that? You're doing that for a plagiarism check. It's just a process. It's what all English team, the English team does for major papers, is in order to deter and just make you guys realize we are checking. It's a step, and it just provides a report to me, the teacher, to let me know if anything needs to be flagged, and then I can take a more serious look at things. You only have one opportunity to submit it. You cannot submit it and then try and resubmit it. So take your time, go through it. If you have questions, see me again on Monday. I will also answer questions on Tuesday. If you're freaking out, don't freak out. First, if you can at least make sure you have the Google Classroom and you have the paper copy, I will cut slack with regards to trying to get that last part on Blackboard through the plagiarism check, you and we can work through it, and I will get that. But that is going to be a final step required for your paper. All right, anything else? I think that covers it. The only other thing we did do in class was we went over the diddle search. So make sure you come to class, that you bring your diddle search. I will be collecting that. You also need to, if you picked up the copy of the If statement, or the If poem by Rudyard Kipling, that required you to annotate and bring that back to class. I am collecting both of those. Your diddle search is worth, I think, 10 points. The If statement, the If annotation is going to be 5 points. So they do add up. If you still haven't turned in your homework for vocabulary units 7 and 8, I'm still collecting that. It just will be less 1 point minimally. What else? Going back to the diddles. Oh, so you're bringing to class on Tuesday, you're bringing your paper, you're bringing your diddle search, you're bringing the If annotated, you're also bringing your character chart and your literary analysis, and I'm collecting that with your papers and everything. Anything else? I think that covers it. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know. If you have questions, then comment on this video and send them to me. Otherwise, you guys are going to do this. It's a good job. It's not going to be hard, and don't stress over it. Writing is a process. You just have to write. The more you write, the easier it will get. Make sure after you're done with your papers, you proof your papers. Have somebody else look at it. Check for punctuation. Check for grammar. Have somebody else read it for you to make sure that they don't see anything else. And I hope you enjoyed the book, and I'll see you on class Tuesday or Wednesday. Talk to you later. Bye.